Hello, everybody. Welcome to Open Interest Tuesdays with your man, your boy, your guy, your dude, Ace, Hackerman Ace. I really need to do a rebrand because I think the original Ace that was around here, I think he's gone and dead, and I don't think he's around. So I'm gonna go ahead and claim the spot of the only Ace on Twitter, and I mean crypto Twitter. But yeah, just gonna give it a few moments for everybody to hop on. Retweet this tweet if you are my friend and you appreciate everything I do. Live now, come join Spy BTC. We are talking. All right, we got 8 viewers. Oh, not as much as last time, but we're gonna give it a few moments for everybody to hop on. People who don't follow me on Twitter, give me a follow. Other than that, let's just give it a few moments. Yo, Doji, what's up, man? Yeah, while I wait, actually, I'm gonna go roll over to Doji's page. See, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret of why there's so many groups in, crypto Twitter and why they all conjugate together. What's best to a trader that is the most helpful, okay? The most helpful thing to a trader who's constantly trading a certain market, whatever it is constant updates. Anybody else who is basically just watching the market, posting updates, whatever they're doing, even if they're not trading, having somebody who gives insight constantly is what you want to what you want to follow. So these people who do all these follow for follows, they're not just follow for follows. They're coordinated because the people who they're following for follows, they're following the markets that they can't always keep up with because there's so many tickers, you can't keep up with them all. So really look into those follow for follows. You'll see those weird names popping up, and those weird names with those small accounts that are popping up. Those are the ones that are here wasting their time. The other guys are here promoting and retweeting videos and making memes for engagement. It's the little guys that are my favorite that I don't chill. But I'm shilling Mount Doji because he gives me a roundup of everything. But that was enough for the rant. I think we have enough people on here. Couple things for today. What we're gonna talk about. Let me get out of this RuneScape stuff. Oh, hurry. Can't let people see. Alright. One of the big things I want to talk about today is Bitcoin. I want to talk about Ichimoku. And I want to talk about B-Bands. I think I might put my focus more on B-Bands because that's something very simple and something that everybody can apply and something that won't make your chart look hideous and won't clutter your chart up. You can still use regular price action. You can still use everything the same. It's just something you want to keep in there and just to toss it onto. Mainly because whenever you see patterns, for example, here's a good example. So, I saw people yesterday drawing some sort of triangles on here, on this way, and they're like, well, what's going to happen over here? We think it might bounce up, it might go over. The biggest issue over here is this. Sorry about that. The biggest thing about this is that the one thing you don't notice, this is the thing I stress to everybody, is that when you're having a support test on the 20 SMA over here, regardless of what time frame it is, how is it bending? This is bending downwards. That is bad. Doesn't necessarily mean it's horrible, but as far as I'm concerned, that's bad. You have price action over here when you zoom in, support rejected over here, and the POC was rejected. So there was a 20 SMA here and a POC over here, and you got a rejection on 2 candles. So that's confirmation right there. Third one is a clear rejection right there, and then it just starts breaking down. So if you are doing these triangles and you are doing these patterns, because I see people drawing them, not to call anybody out, but I actually meant to recommend B-Bands to Quantum Blocks because his charts are super naked, and I see all his triangles. And I don't know, I try to help people if I see them doing things and they're trying to make things a little bit more precise. That'll help them. So B-Bands has definitely helped me as far as being more precise about what I'm doing. Now, let us go over some metals. We'll do that one first because that's what was really interesting today because they kept going down while everything else kept going down, which is very strange, but not like I care. So, SLV took a big shit today. Bounced up. I think I retweeted Justin's tweet yesterday. I was like, we're not out of the clear for gold or silver. You have these top structures over here that we still need to clear. We didn't clear this top structure over here, and we basically just double topped over here, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not like exactly perfect to perfect, but as far as structures go, double top here, and we'll probably do the same thing at the dotted line. That's why I have this dotted line over here. Whatever next move we go to, we'll probably wick around up here, maybe wick to 1850, and then we're coming back down, like almost guaranteed. So that's my outlook on that one. We'll look at silver hardcore directly, but yeah, I mean, silver, once again, wicks up here, rejected. There's this upper box. I can zoom out a little bit more to explain the upper box. The upper box is based off of left to right. I always draw my zones on macro time frames from left to right on the charts. More data there is, more better I'm going to get a zone that's going to react for me. What you're trying to draw, you're not just trying to draw squares and boxes. You're trying to draw reactionary zones. That's where you can react and trade to. Okay, you don't want to just hop into the middle of something and then be like, is it gonna move or we're in the box? It's like, no, you know there should be a reaction there because you already have a box drawn there. So, sorry to be so blunt and mean sounding, but I mean, I feel like nobody learns unless they're yelled at or just explained to in this kind of way. Everybody comes back to me, they're like, yo, do you got a book? Yo, do you got a book? Even after I recommend them cred stuff, yo, do you got a book? I don't understand cred stuff. I'm like, all right, well, that's why I always debate. I'm like, maybe I should make a children's book for trading just so people can under the basic concept. Because people try to skip over and try to hop into these MAs and try to hop into this stock and all sorts of crazy stuff when they don't even know the basic stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get off topic if I don't stop. So, first thing I want to check is, I grabbed this one, SLV. This was really interesting to me. So, the reason I grabbed this one was, check this out. So, I had the choice of grabbing this one, or I could have grabbed this one. 930 would have grabbed me a little bit more time, but it was double the price of this one. I could have grabbed next week ones for the 6th, next Friday, and assumed, hey, because basically right now the mindset with SPY for me is this. Let me show you before I talk shit. Yeah, we failed. We broke down. Whatever. Candle's looking horrible for the weekly, but the weekly's not over. We're going to have some sort of direction or sense of where we're going to be going around Wednesday, Thursday. So probably tomorrow, early Thursday. So we'll get an idea. And I'm an MA maximalist. Yeah, man, dude, there's some people who are really good with those MAs. It's just, even when it comes to MAs, I know tons of things that people lack on MAs. That, I mean, MAs aren't exactly perfect as far as like super duper spot on entries go. But yeah, man, I mean, there's definitely some people who are really good. Like, you're really good, Doji, on those MAs. Especially combined with those bar chart things that you do. I think that's great because I don't really see that many bar chart traders. And every time you, the one thing I took from you is, it's been helping, man. Here, I'll show you. Hold on, let me log into something. No, don't want you to show you guys RuneScape. Hang on. And I'm sorry if I'm everywhere. I have time on my hands, so I can go over whatever you guys need me to. I'm just gonna get my rants out of the way. Doji, so the one thing I've been using is your bearish engulfings and stuff. It works on certain time frames. Like, for example, if I'm on lower time frames, I love seeing bearish engulfing. So I have definitely turned that on. And another thing I used to like figure out, because they weren't obviously exact on there. So the other thing I started using was I combined it with the tweezer patterns. So tweezer combined with those engulfing patterns, man, I've been having a lot of good luck, and I've been trying to work on a bot which incorporates those patterns with the other things that I use. But that's a topic we can talk after this. But yeah, man, totally appreciate you letting me know about what pattern that was on those bar charts. So yeah, SPY weekly, it's underneath here, but it's not really broken completely because, as you can see, top, this is the top line. We're just basically support testing over here. So being it Tuesday shouldn't really make you worry. This makes me worry, the fact that we had a daily candle, complete shit. And I don't always put my life on the line on candles like I do in crypto. With legacy, candles can fuck you over in a minute. So that's why I was like, well, we are underneath. Maybe we'll come back up. But we didn't at all. Like, was really bad news bears. And I've been watching price action like this for quite some time, for the whole entire past year, every single day. So to see this come down like this, I'm just curious if this is going to be something that lasts. I mean, tomorrow I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce back up, but I'm looking for some sort of bearish rejection or whatever. And at any point we break this 310 level, I mean, you're looking at 305 off the bat, right on the 200 MA on the daily. And I mean, it's been pretty strong, the 200 MA, for the past, since February. So we'll see if the 200 MA holds. If for some reason it doesn't hold, I expect consolidation underneath the 200 MA, and then we tank down. The main reason for me even being bearish is just because of Donald Trump. I mean, not Donald Trump, this coronavirus stuff. The numbers just keep coming out, and the numbers just aren't meeting up with me. I wouldn't care. Normally, every single Trump tweet he sends out, I'm like bullish, bullish, bullish. I've been super bullish. I mean, I haven't found an excuse to be bearish until just last week, when people were showing me the numbers of countries that were having cases breaking out. And I've been following this stuff just for shits and giggles from the beginning. And the numbers are increasing in the sense of, like, major countries started off with 25. Even America started off with just very few cases. Then it's raising up to a couple hundred. And now we're at the end of March. And if I still stick with my whole entire mental plan of sell in May and go away and get ready in February, get ready in about end of March, April, for like some sort of crash. I mean, what other thing to make things crash more is this coronavirus extending more? Trump's saying it's okay, but I mean, CDC's not releasing certain numbers. We have a lot of doubt in the air, so I don't know. Oh, and Bitcoin support test on this breakout. I wouldn't really call it that, but yeah, man, I think I told you guys on Bagsy's stream, more we get away from this upper structure and consolidation zone, more problems we have. We didn't get too far away from this one. We drew a pattern and we kept going. So that one's okay for now. So the daily on here for Bitcoin, we're in a flag pattern as far as I care. I said this before earlier. If it breaks down underneath here, then maybe I'll start being a little bit more bearish. As far as I'm concerned right now, price is tightening up. B-bands are right underneath the price. So there's a possible chance for an extension underneath here if we don't recover on the 20 SMA. So I don't want to exclude being bearish out. But this comes back to that whole market profile thing I tweeted. Well, let me check on these messages you guys got going. I should probably check Periscope, because I'm sure you guys are talking to me on there and I don't know what you're saying, because I can't see Periscope. Periscope comments. Alright, Periscope's open, fams. But I don't know why it's not showing the right thing. Oh, it is. Sorry. Okay. What was somebody saying in chat? ZM keeps pushing since remote working is at all-time highs. Yeah, somebody else posted something for even like online education. That's another thing. It's like, why go out when you can just do everything at home? Let me check ZM though. Alright, what I'll talk about now after I check out ZM is I'm just going to go over some Bitcoin stuff real quick. I mean, not Bitcoin, the Ichimoku stuff real quick for you guys. ZM. What is... Oh, Zoom video. Ooh, Zoom video. Support test on POC with a tweezer bottom. All in. Back in January 20. Oof. These dips are meant for buying. I'd be wanting to buy some of these dips on ZM. But once again, this is like kind of extended, so I feel like I missed my chance. And then you might double top over here if this doesn't clear over a little higher. So maybe if I can get a pullback around 88, or I mean, that's probably pushing it. If I can probably get like $95, I would. But I don't like the fact that it's already out of the B bands. Okay, so let's talk some Ichimoku. I'm gonna go over here. Yo, we caught Ion. If you were in Discord, we got that shit. What can I use a good example on? XTZ USD. All right. So, one first thing I'm gonna say about Ichimoku is that Ichimoku was initially generated for legacy markets. So with crypto markets, you have to change the settings on there. I mean, some people don't, but I do, and I'm used to changing the settings. So whenever you're adjusting the settings and you're trading crypto, 20, 60, 120, 30. Those are the settings that you want every time you're doing any kind of crypto legacy or crypto Ichimoku trading. Okay? Second thing you want to keep in mind is PA typically trumps Ichimoku. Ichimoku gives signals as far as either where the trend is going to go, where support and resistance might be, or target points as far as what's going to go. Or at least it's going to signal something earlier than what other signals will do. Okay? So that is just that. Now, the other thing that I use in conjunction with Ichi is the Bollinger Bands. I've been using them for quite some time. The reason I use them is because, I mean, once again, Ichi doesn't show you everything, and neither does price action. So I needed more to refine what a top looks like and what doesn't look like a top. So over here on weekly Tezos, this is just an example on macro. We're going to zoom in because typically you won't find setups right away on the macro on Ichi unless you know what you're doing. And this chart's ugly for it. So the reason I use the B bands with this is that so you do have a bullish TK over here on the weekly for Tezos, okay? But it was inside of a falling wedge pattern. And the one thing you're noticing over here is that now the price is starting to extend up, but we're still in a bullish TK. And you're like, what the hell do I do? This is still in a bullish TK. Should I keep my position open? And this is what bothered me here. I was like, well, we're already in like a cross. We're already going up. Are we going to continue? So that's where I decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and toss in the Bollinger Bands. What Bollinger Band tells me is like how far the extension is away from the Tenkin or the Kijun or even the 20 SMA, which is the middle of the Bollinger Bands. So right over here, right off the bat, it tells me, hey, even though the price bounced off the Tenkin, we're seeing the Tenkin and everything tighten up over here, and price is just flying. But if you notice, the price is flying on the outside of the Bollinger Bands. Whenever the price goes to the outside of the Bollinger Bands, that typically means, hey, if it goes way too far out, the price is going to consolidate or the price is going to come down. Typically, the price consolidates and doesn't always come down, but that's where I identify a top. I'm like, hey, the price went out. It went on huge extensions, and now we have the price action well far away from the Kijun and even further away from the 20 SMA. When your price action is way far away from the 20 SMA, that's where you want to be a little bit cautious. Because at any point the 20 SMA starts cutting down, that's bad news bears. And if you're solely focused on macro time frames, you're going to get fucked. So zooming in. Now I'm on the daily and I'm noticing the Ichi. Now the Ichi's a little bit more readable over here. The way you want to read this is that whenever Ichi price action breaks into the cloud on higher time frames, typically like the daily, that's a pretty big fucking deal. The reason it's a big deal is because all these clouds, the bottom of the clouds, okay, let me back up 1 minute. So the clouds, if the price action is underneath the cloud on higher time, the more it's on a higher time frame, the more stronger that trend is. Price underneath the clouds is a bearish trend and price action is bearish. If it's even underneath the Kijun even more, that's even more bearish. So when you see a flip over here and the price action goes into the cloud and it pushes through, that's where my mind starts going, hey, I need to start looking for a re-entry or some sort of entry to where I can go ahead and get in. All right. So that's how you would play those. And if price action is over the green clouds, that means the trend's bullish, and keep looking for long, keep looking for consolidation zones to go ahead and enter in. I made more money in the last 3 days in legacy markets versus all of 2019 crypto. Yo, don't worry about me. Man, I was saying this on my last stream. I fucked up in January. I was doing crazy stuff. I was talking to too many people. I was trying to trade markets that I don't. Trying to do the stupid ass pharmaceutical bio crap, and oh man, totally wrecked my shit in January. But February, I did really, really good. Like this like past month, fucking killed it. All my January losses are back, but this was really good. I had fun doing some puts on here, and back to my old type of trading. So I'm really happy. So back to the Ichimoku part. So when you do see price action flip over, one of the things you want to watch over here is the Kijin and the Tenkin areas. Okay, the blue line is your Tenkin. The Kijin is your the red line is your Kijin, and that's the bearish line. The blue line is the bullish line. Okay. I wish I could do like some Q&As to where you guys answer something and I give you guys coins. Maybe I'll log into Pt3 and I force you guys to answer questions and I'll send you guys coins. Let me see if I can find another example. So with altcoins, the one thing I look for, let's see if there's any altcoins that haven't blown up yet. Okay, here's a great example. We'll turn off my MAs. Ichimoku. Damn it, I should have just done this in Go Charting. Settings. Remember, 20. Oops. 20, 60, 120, 30. I turn off my lagging span because people don't understand it, and that's way too hard to explain. Alright, so ideal setup for me on New. I've been watching New for quite some time. This is the diagonal support. I was watching to see if we end up holding this diagonal support and popping up. So this is where Ichi comes in. Let me just turn it off real quick. And I'm going to turn off the B-bands because that's going to give away too much. Alright, so if you're watching this on a plain chart, and I even go ahead and remove this, and I remove this. I mean, I could actually keep that last one on. Okay. I would hope people were able to draw a trend line like that. So they're probably thinking to themselves, hey, we're going to try to get an entry over here. When do I get an entry? MA traders are going to be like, hey, let me wait for price action to actually break out. Let me wait for confirmation. And that's what fucked me a couple years ago, was everybody kept saying this stupid shit about wait for confirmation, but they would never explain more into that. They would just say wait for confirmation, wait for price action to confirm. And so that's what pissed me off. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do to learn something that I can figure out myself, a reversal pattern? So that's where B-bands and this comes in. So right off the B-bands, before we get into the Ichimoku, you're noticing every time the 20 SMA flips, it goes bullish. Now, I've said this before about the 20 SMA. Whenever the 20 SMA cuts, that's something to watch. Because if the cut is strong and it's near a breakout point, that's gonna break out. So cuts and bends on Ichimoku, on B-bands, depending on which way it is, are really, really important. So if you're seeing a B-bands curve, or if you're seeing it slightly, so here's an example. So here's an uptrend the whole way. B-bands is fairly curving the whole way, barely curves and bends, kind of bends over here, but price action holds on the 20 SMA, and then you have a problem over here. You have several daily candles where 20 SMA is cutting, and now altogether 20 SMA is hooked. I've talked about these hooks plenty of time, and every single candle now is being rejected off the 20 SMA. Now, if I didn't have the 20 SMA on, people would probably be like, oh look, it's triangle ace, we should play the triangle. Or they would be like, hey, let's play a bullish flag or something stupid like that. But when you turn this on, that gives you a way better signal. Not only that, you have price action that tightened up over here. So if you're somebody that doesn't like playing breakouts and you see you see the B-bands tighten up in the background over there, that's another signal for you. Hey, I'm not a breakout trader, so I'm getting out of my position, whether it's at a loss or whatever it is, because that's my risk management plan. I don't play breakouts. Me, on the other hand, I do play breakouts, so I love this shit. I live for this. Now let's turn on the Ichimoku to give you a little bit more of a better idea of things. $20 SMA flip over here, but Ichimoku doesn't confirm until right about here. Okay? So Where's that bullish TK? No, right here. Here is the bullish TK over here for the initial one. So you see the initial bullish TK. What a bullish TK basically is is when the blue line crosses over the red line. I'm sorry, it was over here. I was confusing the 20 SMA. Is when the blue line crosses through the red line. That is what a bullish TK is. Now, to show strength of the bullish TK, that's what I had trouble with. That's where the 20 SMA comes into place. If the 20 SMA is cutting up very aggressively and we're having support test on the 20 SMA during a bullish TK, that's a pretty big deal. So I don't know about you guys, but that's a sign for me. So once we did have a bullish TK over here, the next thing we had was cloud support. We had a cloud support test and things took off right over there. Every single time, this keeps cloud support testing. Cloud support testing. Now, what did I tell you guys? Anytime the price action is in the clouds, it's a big deal. Anytime the price breaks into the clouds, it's a big deal. Anytime it happens on higher time frame, it's a big fucking deal. So, and the other thing I always stress is 20 SMA flips. Always watch the 20 SMA flip on the B bands. So now over here you have another one. You have a bullish TK that just happened again after it dumped over here and recovered. Okay? So with this bullish TK, what you're seeing price end up extending. Over here, when you had the bullish TK, you didn't, or the support test, you didn't see price extend out all the way over here. You're seeing it happen now. So now that you're seeing price action flip off the 20 SMA and extend out of the B bands, that should immediately tell you, hey, price is outside of the B bands. Unless this gets more of a rip up, this is going to go sideways. And what ended up happening? Price action out of the clouds, maybe a little bit more, but overall, price did not keep riding up the clouds. The clouds shut down, Ichimoku started leveling out, and right around here is when the 20 SMA started losing its strength again and weakening. And obviously you can get more of this closer and closer as you zoom in, so it's not going to be something you're going to pick up just by watching this one video and you're going to become an Ichimoku B-bands expert. You're going to have to actually observe this while you're trading and figuring it out. And the people who say you can't use B-bands on lower time frames, get the fuck out of here. Yes, you can. Or Ichimoku, any of them. You can use anything on the lower time frames as long as you start off on the higher time frames and you have your macro support and resistance levels. Man, that was a lot of talking. So, let's look some shit coins up. I am in a BCH short, so I'm really happy about that one. That's the only short I have open. I think I told you guys about that one, but it's probably about time to long. See this Kijin support bounce over here? Love it. Love it. But see, the problem here is that you also have to watch the future clouds. If for some reason the future clouds start closing up and price action is still trending on these lines, you have to zoom in and figure out what's going on there. If you don't zoom in on things that you see on higher time frames, you're going to lose money. You got to figure out each of those time frames. So people who tell you, oh, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, it's because they cannot understand those lower time frames. That is the only reason why. What are those higher time frames composed of? They're composed of those lower time frames. So if you can understand lower time frames, you'll understand what the higher time frames are doing. Hence why I love trading the SPY on weekly when I've been watching it for a good on the minute chart, because I've been watching it for a month. Bitcoin, that's why I like trading it on the 15-minute, 5-minute, sometimes 1 minute, is because I've been doing this for 4 fucking years now. So I know exactly on how this price action works. Stonks, it's a little bit different because they're trickier. But I actually had this talk with Dime. He was saying that he thinks that stocks are a little bit harder than crypto, which I do agree. They are definitely a little bit harder because you have those gaps that happen. You have a little bit more fundamental analysis. But the whole past year, I have not one single time where a rising wedge or a falling wedge has failed me in Legacy. Patterns with high success rates in Legacy almost always play out. In crypto, they pull some bullshit like this. Oh, look, guys, we have a rising wedge, and price action keeps bouncing up and down, up and down. We're going to fall. What Bitcoin I'm used to doing is, oh, shit, we pumped, and then we dumped. So those are the kind of things I'm used to. You don't see scammy stuff like that in patterns. You see scammy stuff like that during earnings and holdings. Yeah, I'm glad you can hear me, Giovanni. Yo, everybody, thank you for joining. Whoever's on, if you guys can retweet and stuff, appreciate it. Tell me your thoughts on live stream. Yeah, what's his thoughts on VIX self-repeat? I mean, Kaylee, you're not the only one that had this view on this. Let me make sure I have the right ticker. Oh, it's VIX. Hang on. VIX. VIX, VIX, VIX. Oof. What a pop. Mm. 2015 comparison. It's hard to say, man. I don't trade VIX often, so it's kind of hard for me to say. As of right now, for me, like this is what I would say. I would say at the maximum, I think it'll go up here. I don't really see it doing something like this. The only time I see it possibly doing something crazy, like in August over here, I mean, I don't even know. Like, that's beyond me. But I'd be looking at something back in 2018, 2008, 2007, like around the crash time. Like, do we have any kind of legitimate, actual reason for some sort of like stupid volatility like that, or are we at a top and we're at a good point to short? So, this is definitely something I do not know how to answer because I do not trade VIX and I don't know too much about it. But hey, that could be really nice. But once again, the problem I have with this is that I'm not exposed at the right time I should have been. So if I can grab on a consolidation to grab up, that would be great. Panic gap up. I mean, 2015, there weren't presidents that were tweeting either. Everything's gonna be okay, guys. Everything's gonna be okay. No president was tweeting that at all. So things are very different in my eyes. I mean, I really haven't been in the market that long either for legacy, so all my answers are speculatory answers. But that's my opinion. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it'll happen, but I think it'll be more so it'll follow your trend line that you have over here and hit $35 after some consolidation. Maybe let me look at the chart once again. Yeah, to break these wick zones, I just don't see that happening up to $50. That would be like really, really interesting as far as what's going on and why it's happening. So, I don't know, man. I will tell you that the financial sector, I tried telling people, this was monthly resistance. Lads, monthly resistance works. So, monthly resistance up here. We're about to break, we're underneath the monthly 50, which we held up for the past couple months since September. And now we are underneath of it. And the biggest thing for the XLF sector is that if this shit goes bad, I mean, this shit's going to go bad pretty crazily. Like, the loss of a 20 SMA over here is going to be so bad. Even on the 200, like, the 200 loses, like, yikes. We have a gap down here at $25. Unfilled, untouched gap at $25 for XLF. Okay? So that's kind of worrisome. We filled the gap back over here at $29. What makes us stop and not hitting $25 over here? So that is my thing on XLF. I'm kind of bearish on it. XOP is one I want to go over. Let's go to XOP, Coifin. Love this website. If you guys trade stocks, it's fucking free. Get an account. I'm not shilling anything. It's just useful because if you're trading ETFs and you want to trade just strictly something else that's on the ETF, you type it in, you search it, and it'll give you the breakdown of each of these ETFs. So, man, okay. Like, look at these. These things are taking shits. Like, daily returns on XOP. So you're wondering, like, why XOP's looking so bearish? Because its top-weighted contributors looking like shit. Like, APA, Apache Corp. Apache Corp ruined a lot of things back up here. We rode up on Apache Corp strictly because of some sort of war bullshit and news. Prior to that, Apache has been resisting on the 200 MA for quite some time. There was only one other time it went over, and that was back in last summer, and it didn't really last too long. So unless we're getting a support test like this, I would say the minute APA loses, it's going to go down. And not only that, you have XOP. You have XOP, which is making new lows. So maybe you could play a bounce, but it also comes down to this too. We have the rejection on the daily 20 SMA, and even though we're getting a candle come up, the 20 SMA is not reacting. It's still bending. So that's really bad. Typically, whenever you see price action come down to the bottom, you'll see this 20 SMA curve. When you see it continue to go down, that's really bad. That's how I decided my fixie play. It was up here is when I entered. I was like, shit, this is still bending. It actually made another bend over here. So that's really, really bad. So right now it's starting to curve. So I probably should have exited my fixie. So I'm assuming we gap up tomorrow a little bit, which is fine because long-term fixie I'm aiming a lot lower. But I'm hoping you're paying attention to what I'm saying and you use that stuff in conjunctions with those indicators. Man, XLE's another one, dude. This is... Oh, dude, we were trying to do puts on this, weren't we? Or were we trying to do calls? Oh, dude, this sucks. There was puts coming up on Cheddar Flow for this when me and you were talking about this, Doji. So this is pretty much shit the bed. Yeah, we were saying puts. No, yeah, I wish I would have bought my time. Yeah, this is really, really bad. Like, if by the end of this week this doesn't flip over $50 and this doesn't recover on the weekly on 50, I mean, look at this weekly. The weekly's getting a 20 SMA bend as well. So I think this couldn't be like any worse. Probably late chasing puts, but they're probably expensive. Yeah, they're fucking expensive. I'm sure these aren't because they're probably OTM crazy ones, but they bought them today. 320. Yeah, man, there's nothing here that's cheap. These guys have been rocking the boat on this for quite some time. So XLE is one of those ones that you want to do weekly or bi-weekly option plays. And the most reason you want to do that is because me and Doji were already looking about puts up here. So anybody who did puts up here with such a devastating drop, they're going to be expensive. And the fact that I'm not able to find any puts that are underneath $1 means that the puts prices are out of the roof already if you get in the money. So it's going to be really hard to make quick flips. So if you're over here trying to do hundreds of percents on this, probably not a good idea. You'd probably want to do it on something like this. If you can manage to find yourself a play which hasn't broke down, that's what you think you can get puts plays on. Like target over here, which is what I should have entered at the end of the day. 20 SMA, curve, bend, rejection. How many more bad things can I say? Legacy, it's a little bit different. Let me turn on the ET on here. Oh, look, what's Legacy saying? So here's a pattern that you guys will see on crypto a lot. You'll see the price action flip over, and then you'll see this big giant cloud. And then you'll see the price action so far away from the cloud. Now, price action popped up, and now is going sideways towards the clouds. Now, what the key thing over here is that this price has already broke underneath the Kijin, Tenkin, every single goddamn thing there's possibly imaginable. So the only thing left is now the consolidation zone to hold you up. So, which I would say is probably around here. So if this does not bounce over here and we start seeing price action get over here, what that means is that, where's this? You're going to see candles going over here, you're going to see candles going over here, and you're going to see candles going over here. That would mean you need a full recovery over here, support test, full recovery and blow off over and recover the 20 SMA and then continue this trend. Which, man, the chances of that happening, I can almost never see that happening. That rarely ever happens. You see the strength ahead of time, the 20 SMA will start cutting up. This will not turn into a bearish TK if that's going to happen. But as of right now, it's hooking. Price action's bad. I think what's going to happen is probably something like this. It's going to get into here, and then price action's going to get into here. It's going to do some crazy shit, and then it's going to come tank down. If we go down to the daily of target, the daily of target's already forming bad. Daily of the target is underneath the resistance. Bullish TK, curve over here, bad clouds. Maximum thing this says over here is maybe you'll get an entry at 116 for a better short, but remember what I said earlier. Price needs to break through over here. And why in the world would Target all of a sudden randomly price break for no reason right now? Unless SPY fully recovers and there's no more Target scare, I'd be really cautious about this one. So I'm looking for puts on the next green day I can find. I couldn't find anything today that was worthwhile. It's okay, friend. Pizza short pizza with me, dude. Yeah, man. Papa John's. He's finally gonna get his revenge. This is one I've been waiting for. Rising wedge. People bought up their liquidity up here. Ichimoku is like getting weaker and weaker every single day, and we're coming up on earnings. The earnings part's the sketchy part. So, oh man, earnings is tomorrow. Hey Spence, do you know if the earnings is after tomorrow, or I mean, is aftermarket or pre-market? Well, if you do know this answer, here's the problem here. So, damn, I should have done this today if I was going to do puts. Let's just say earnings is good. This is probably going to do something like this. Earnings were good. We are gonna, I don't know, probably somewhere around there. Earnings go magically good. We see this at 72. 72, 73. Earnings go bad. You're going to see this thing, boom, bump really down. I would say probably around there where it says text at the first spot. Yeah, man, pizza puts, but they will lose money. Yeah, food sources and stuff that's located internationally might not do too good. So, Papa John's rising wedge with bad news. This seems like easy money. But there was nothing on order flow for this one. I didn't see anything. Yeah. The one thing I can look up is see if there was any buyers from earlier this month for pizza, though, for you. So, for people who are curious as far as what I'm doing here and what the hell this is an order flow platform that I use to identify what orders are coming through. And the way this one's set up is that it has its own little algo set for what orders are actually tracked and what orders are actually pulled. And all these orders are live. So what I do in that case is that, for example, I see a rising wedge. So I'm like, hey, is anybody, I search the symbols. I'm like, hey, is anybody doing puts on this one? Now, the problem is when I'm picking weird, shitty names like pizza or Papa John's, which I don't really see traded often, you may not see something like that. But when you see something like, let's see. Yeah, I've seen Walmart a lot. WMT is probably one that pops up. Yep, WMT puts, players coming up for puts. So this is what I'm looking for according to my strat. It's like, hey, we're a little bit bearish, but are we going to flip back over? Now, we've already broken the trend line for Walmart, so if we absolutely cannot recover this 118, 120 zone, I think these guys are going to do good. They're aiming for 110. One guy bought out right before close for a pop for tomorrow, or he exited, but he bought out for 2021, but he bought out at the end of the day today. So the other guys are aiming for 110 around this zone, which is about a gap fill over here, which is perfect. So that's what I look for when I look at order flow and I look at big money order flow is, hey, do any of these order flows meet up with anything that I'm actually trading and actually seeing on the charts? If it's a yes, then that's where I look at my other things, which is the open interest, which is the Greeks, which is the time period, how far away, strike, all sorts of little things. And then Bitcoin real quick. Send her down. When she loses this zone, I'll feel bad. Big feels bad on Bitcoin. Who did... Somebody brought up a shitcoin to me. Trell. No. Terra? Was it Terra? Torino. This is the one that, Rhett came on my status, was like, look, I just bought the dip in Torino. Let's see if it was an actual nice job. Rhett, sir. This is where he claims he bought the dip. He says he was the cause of this wick. So Rhett is claiming that this is gonna bounce and pop up. So what Rhett is claiming is that he's looking to exit us at 60%. Western Digital. No, I don't know what this is. World Coin. I know this isn't crypto, but the World Coin is bearish. Why? Did World Coin just exit scam on everybody? Shit. Dang, World Coin even made it all the way up to almost $1. Algo, how dare you? How dare you? Just kidding, man. I'm in a bag of Algo. I got the small one. I couldn't help but buy a dip. And it doesn't look like it's gonna go good. Oof, this is kind of scary, so it really needs to pop up. I'm in at 42, so it's like right there. Sketchy. DLD gap filled and looked alright, but notice this 20 SMA cut over here. Bad news bears. Oxy is one of the ones that were weighted heavily on dang, look, the 24th yesterday, just tank mission on Oxy. Fuck, stacking. I hope you let go of your bag, man. Fuck. That's insane. Yeah, Oxy looked really good. This is just a great example of get in and get out. It was a falling wedge. Sean mentioned it early, popped up, hit the 200 MA, and down since then. And now you're seeing this aggressive 20 SMA cut over here, and it's allegedly acting like a support test off of here. So any kind of bounce over here still looks like it's a good short. And it's reaching new lows too, which is even worse. Let me look up WDC now. Western Digital. How many offices are overseas? I would need to know China facts if there's anything to worry about with China. Let's look at some shit coins, like some real shit coins. This is what I was trying to tell everybody I was in. Let's see how they're doing today. Oh boy. Yeah, I had grabbed a bag of Tesla down here. I have some like around 8 sats and 9 sats, or ETH, whatever this is. And I tried to get rid of it yesterday up here. Didn't have too much good luck over here because as you can see, the books have like 1, 2 ETH maximum. Like maximum 6 ETH. There's like a 6 ETH bid down here, 3 ETH bid down here. Books are a little sketchy. So, but I do have a bag. Definitely have a bag. So I'm holding on to this and we will see what we can do because this is one of the bags that I want to grab for alt season when it actually happens and Bitcoin starts moving up. The other thing is that this is so illiquid and not even on anywhere that who's going to dump it? The 24,000, the people with $24,000 volume? Are those the guys that are going to dump it? What's it have? Maybe like 100K max volume across all exchanges? Yeah, I don't think they're going to be dumping. I think they're going to be either be wash trading or they're going to be accumulating for later on when it gets off of Stex. But yeah, Stex is one I'm super interested in. And you can buy your crypto with a credit card, which I don't recommend. Trade. What else do they have? Where are the markets? Markets. Hey, do you guys have any tickers you guys want me to check on, whether it be altcoins or whatever it is? No, Bitcoin. Secure your shorts, lads. Secure your shorts. Look at that 20 SMA curve. This is live Bitcoin trading right now. 20 SMA curve. What does that mean? That means absolutely needs to hold the structure right over here. If this does not bounce, 20 SMA does not recover, that will crash. Now you want to zoom in. Price is extending far, far away from the B bands and is getting into the B bands on the bottom. I don't have it highlighted to see if it's extending, but I would assume it's extending over here. So the minute I see that, regardless of the extension, what comes into play then is that, hey, we had wicks over here. I don't know who filled or what godly thing filled over here, but this is now a structure for me. And unless I see some sort of candles or wicks or well, if I see a wick in here, I'm fucking in. But if I start seeing candles coming down, or if I start seeing price action around this area, start forming more candles on lower time frames, this thing is going down. KuCoin shares, Safe Haven. KCS. Exchange tokens are only as hype when altcoins are hyped. I don't think altcoins have the hype right now. KuCoin shares. KuCoin shares. Yeah, I'd pass on KuCoin shares for right now. I would just wait for Bitcoin to start getting its leg up. Too many people are fearful, or they're starting to FOMO into alts, and they're gonna learn a hard lesson. So, I would say I'd be more interested in exchange tokens when we're actually over like a 12K level than we are now. FTX is the only exception, just because Sam's a fucking monster and a genius, and he probably shouldn't be doing that because he's too smart. Just kidding. That guy's really smart, so everything he's doing, like, he literally, like, you guys all got lured into this stuff. This was great because there's this market that was already existed, Predict, and it just barely started trending on Twitter. And then about 2-3 weeks later, fucking Sam lists on FTX these Predict contracts. I'm like, yo, no fucking way. This guy saw this and was like, yo, how can I do this on my exchange? And he did it. So props to him, man. Like, he's doing shit on his exchange that is very interesting. Smart guy. Yeah, FTX token is the only one right now, which I'd be looking for some sort of entries. We can look at Huobi token too, since all the boys are trading at Huobi. Yeah, Huobi double topped over here. Yeah, looking for an entry lower. Nice volume run up though on over here on Huobi, so people were definitely looking to buy. So looking at Kijin entry, maybe 20 SMA possibly, but def not right now. Everything besides team up because CZ. I mean, his teaming up with CZ wasn't like a silly mistake. CZ probably doesn't have access to good liquidity providers, and if they do, they're probably not as smart as Sam. Not only that, like, I don't know, I think that's way more involved than just, hey, you want to partner with me, CZ? In my mind, it's more so leading towards, hey, whatever you're done pumping on one exchange, let me know, and I'll list it as a short perp on my exchange. And, well, you've already done a lot of the legal work. You help me with my legal work and exchange information while I list what you need to do. I mean, that's the way my mind works. So I'm always thinking some backdoor loophole shit that people would be pulling, regardless of if that's what they are doing or not. But that's my mind for crypto. Let's see what other exchange tokens there are. How's the insurance fund doing? Oof, parabolic curve. I wonder if Sam would be willing to list the insurance fund on BitMEX that you could long the insurance fund. Alright, DAG. I saw somebody post a DAG chart earlier. I did want to buy a bag of DAG for, like, the future. I did like the company. That's the only reason. Homemade triangles. Sorry, just gonna make my zones for this so I know when to Look at it. Oh, another thing that's super helpful is when you're looking at weeklies and you're drawing from left to right and you see candle flips that go down like this, but then you see this candle base and candle top flatten out like that, and like they're so equally like that. Um, go immediately right there and draw yourself a fucking horizontal line off that. If you can do that, you'll be good. Even over here, look at these double bottom areas. So I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna pick a random chart and we're gonna do that off of there. So let's pick one chain. One chain. USD value. We're not even gonna look at the right. We're gonna look at the left to start. And I'm gonna explain to you guys what I just did. Alright, looking for reactionary zones based off of candle formations on the body. Like this. Candle body here, candle body top here. Horizontal level. Candle bodies on the base popped up for some reason. Why? I don't know why. I don't know what price action it was, but something caused it to pop. Line. Oh, look. Something here too, but it also coincides with the bounce over here. Line. Let me zoom down. Okay. Breakdown before the huge breakdown. You know what goes there? A line. And then this is close enough to where I can draw a zone and a range. A range and a line based off of this. Oh my god, look. Those candles got rejected off of a line I drew? No fucking way. Alright, let's keep going down. Okay? Now, we're doing it over here. And we're also going to do it over here. And now, since it looks like it may have reached the bottom over here, we're going to go ahead and do it over here too. And remember, I'm doing this on the weekly. Okay? You don't have to go through and do it on every single one. You just got to do it on according to what you think and feel is looking right on your end. And these are the reactionary zones that I think are going to be reactionary. So, and Wan chain keeps leaking, so it's not pumping, so that kind of beat. Alright, not bad. So what we would want to do with Wan chain now is, now that I drew all these levels over here based off left to right, these are going to be the reaction zone when Wan decides, hey, I'm done dumping and I'm going to start moving up. As you can see over here, 20 SMA flipped, reached right over to this line that I drew over here. Okay, so these will be the lines. We're going to come back to this next stream, and I will talk about this once Wan starts recovering. I don't think any altcoin's going to recover until Bitcoin's done its shit. So, oh look! Look at that! Look at that fill! That is just beautiful. What I literally just got done describing this. A wick inside is beautiful. Candles down is bad. Man, I love when things work out. So even if I would place quick bids over here, they would have been filled, it would have been a $100 move, and I used leverage, and it would have been nice little profit. But I'm streaming, so I can't. Lines, so many lines. 3K YOLO short on pizza, feeling saucy? Nah, I would not do that. If you're gonna do like some kind of YOLO short type crazy shit on money, your best bet is anything related to China. So wait for a green day or wait for something, but look at China. I wouldn't look on oh, if you want to do an ER play, I always advise against ER plays. Those things are fucked. ER plays like work out unless you're like super confident. There's been one ER play that I played this year, and I was like doing that with full confidence, and that was FedEx. FedEx is a piece of shit. Okay, that company's gonna not go further because each company I deal with, they want to use FedEx less and less. More people are bringing in their own logistic companies, and yeah, so FedEx is shit. This is going down. Maybe it recovers down here. Like, you can look for reaction zones, I guess, at this final block over here. But I will guess my news is probably going to be that FedEx is probably going to be dropped by Amazon, which I think they already did. But we're probably going to drop them fully if we already haven't. So if we can get a break on diagonal, maybe I'll go bullish, but you still have problems in that case as well. Even if it does break a diagonal line, you have this cluster up here that it has to recover off of. So there is a gap fill up here, but FedEx, I'm sorry FedEx, but I think Amazon's going to take over, and I think Postal Service isn't going anywhere either. So, plus with bad, how are they going to have business if there's like all this flu stuff going around? So, any kind of international things like this, I'm not really like too fond of logistics right now. What else do we got? These are some tickers that somebody mentioned to me in Discord. I mean, I'm assuming he just did his normal flips because they tanked. But shit, this ETF is going to shit in Austria. This Belgium ETF going to shit. This Belgium ETF is about to lose big support if this breaks. Netherlands ETF taking a shit. It's kind of funny. Everything's taking a shit, but they're acting like everything's okay. Everything has been okay, but this is bad. For all these ETFs to do such an aggressive dump down when they haven't had an aggressive dump down in any time recently, and this whole time I've been fucking watching them, why? That makes me wonder, why is this going on? Gazzy. Unfortunately, my Nat Gas fans, this is the last of the line. We might have a bullish TK over here, but it looks like it might fake out if we don't at least get some sort of price action breaking into 23. Without price action breaking into 23 for Gazzy, you're out. You're done. UNG, you have a bullish TK, so there's a little bit of slight chance. But once again, same thing. You need price action to start moving or start flipping immediately. This natural gas ETF, shit, tanked. UNL, same scenario. Trying to set up, don't know if it will, probably won't. Marijuana stocks, RIP. Like, there was no need to overly be bullish on them because the only way these things are going to pump is if the economy is going downward. That's what I was used to. They stopped pumping after this because we don't know what was going on. So MJ, bad news bears. COG, super bearish on COG. This one was lagging, so I'm surprised it's not down or a lot lower than it is. COG is one that I was reading that apparently some big firms end up buying up if they think the market's going to be going up, or at least this whole section is going to be going up. So yeah, this looks like a bearish retest to me. Like, unless price action can flip back over there, there's no reason for me to be bearish on it. And COG's option plays, if these option plays work out and daily goes in your direction, let's say you're doing puts over here and this moves about $1, those things are really nice on option plays. They pay out really good. They're really volatile. Like, a lot of these energy shits are going to shit. PCG, though, I have no clue why this is still up. I was debating on shorting this, but then I was like, I don't understand why this is still up. Let me check order flow for this one, see if anybody did some crazy stuff. PCG, they're buying calls. What the fuck? Why? This is what I'm saying. This is the stuff that interests me when I see order flow calls. A, it's a sweep. B, oh, it's the $3.95 priced. Well, I mean, this just makes me curious as far as like, hey, are these people exiting? Why are they doing this? What they're doing over here? So those are the kind of things that raise flags on me for when I see order flow that pops up on cheddar flow. I don't take everything into account for my trading, but when I see things like this, it makes me wonder. It's like, well, you got some guy that did a long-term 2021 put, while you have some guys that bought out calls for $3.95 a piece when you know energy's looking like shit. So you have one or two choices. These guys either bought these things because they think $3.95 is going to give them another 20% or somewhere between 100%, whatever it is. That's what, Lord Chicken, don't you dare reveal the sauce, man. We can't talk about that until the end of the stream. And I was supposed to have Beastie join. Is he around? Yes, he's around. Oh, fuck. Yes, are you? Beastie might hop on if he's around. He gave me some nice stock picks. I really like talking to him about stocks too. I know you guys shit on him on ADA, but my man's a phenomenal non-ADA trader. And it's cool because like I like BC doesn't share his bot with anybody. Okay, it's just his own personal bot he's been doing. Um, but I know how it works for some of the part, and it's cool because like I'll message him. I'll be like, "Yo, man, is your bot in any positions?" And if his bot's not in any positions, that's where I start sketching out about alts because of how it works. So once his bot starts buying, I'll be looking for altcoins because I mean it's not perfect, but still it's something that he's worked hard on and has been adjusting. So yeah, I think I kind of fucked him over. I told him 6:30 he could hop on, but you guys all distracted me in talking. So I'm gonna blame all my viewers for my irresponsibility of not checking DMs. But yeah, that's just my look on PCG. It just makes me wonder why somebody would do this on calls. So that makes me wonder on, hey, are they exiting? That is one thing I definitely want to get better on is reading my delta values and just like values in general to understand, hey, are these positions exiting? It doesn't make sense for me for somebody to buy a position like this and expect it's going to double on something like PCG. This looks more to me like, hey, these guys have been buying since January, and now they're looking like they want to exit. And then somebody else was like, hey, I know all the boys are exiting the plays. Is it time for new puts? And they're probably like, hey, Bob, toss $30 in the puts for next year. Okay, they're worth $150 now. You'll have $60K next year. A good 30 grand of work doing nothing, Bob. So I'm interested in Bob over here that's doing a put block for 2021 on PCG. I showed a couple people PCG. They're like, yo, what the fuck happened to the chart? PCG has been going through so much nonsense, fines. Then I see this news. PCG plans to raise $26 billion by selling securities. Don't know what that means, if that's good or bad, but since Lord Chicken decided to give away the sauce, this is going to be something that's never going to go down. Any kind of dips are for buying. Anything that's USA located, I'm pretty bullish on for water. Anything water is a great hedge for me right now. I'm more than welcome to buy-ins on some water. The reason I say that is unless the water gets contaminated, this trend for water since 2010 is not going to stop anytime soon. The only way this trend's going to stop is if we have some sort of Ichi break on the monthly aspect of things, or even weekly. Like, this is not going down at all. So Waterworks dips are for buying. They have option plays on water stonks too. So I haven't played them personally. I've only been admiring them. But I think now that we're getting some red days, might see it. Hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on, bathroom, 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Damn, I feels bad. I told BC to hop on and he's gone now. I wonder, do you guys want Bagsy to come on? I could ask him. Seems he's scrubbing around online somewhere. Bitcoin. Oh, and another thing with Bitcoin, wicks are typically things on higher time. Well, how do I explain this? In Bitcoin, when you're looking at the wicks of things, those definitely do mean a big thing. So, what I mean by that is that so right now I'm just staring this stuff at the 5-minute chart. Okay, when I see some kind of wick like this happen, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal for me. Okay, they literally bought it up and we had a closed out wick. The whole entire bottom from up here was just basically bought out. So somebody definitely just bought out $100 move or whatever, and whoever, bunch of players, whatever it is, it's a fucking wick that made a wick. So now I zoom into the hourly, and now I want to see the strength of this wick. Okay, that was on the 5 minute. So we're still forming it inside of here. So as of right now, we're still holding that zone over here. So if we can get this hourly close to be a little bit stronger, possibly get it up over here, maybe then I'll be like, hey, we'll probably make a run for 94.50 and then come back down. Or if I want to be a little bit more conservative, I could say, hey, right over here, 94.06 is what I'd say. But the biggest concern here, yet again, also is the 20 SMA, which I keep stressing to you guys over and over. 20 SMA is up here. You have this wick bottom over here. So if I draw lines over here, you have this structure right here that needs to clear, and then we can get going back over. Failure to clear any of the structure just means that, hey, I mean, even if we clear it a little bit, you still have the POC. So you need a structure clear over here, and then you need a POC flip. And what day is it today? Tuesday. We have actions on Wednesdays, Mondays, and Saturdays. So you're going to find out about Bitcoin tonight. So if you're playing Bitcoin and you are just trying to catch some kind of long, probably wait until daily to do some longs. Personally, I would say, hey, wait to trade shit. I mean, it doesn't hurt to trade and just observe and learn your skills a little bit better. If you're in America, you should, and you've been trading crypto for longer than a year, and you're in America and you haven't tried legacy markets, there is something really, really wrong with you. Don't let any of these crypto idiots tell you, oh, I don't want to trade legacy markets because they don't move that much, or they're not good as crypto. Fuck all of those people. I mean, unless you're trying to avoid taxes, or if you just want to trade crypto for the privacy sense of things, and because you're over here using KYC from the Binance leak, like, that's cool with me. I'm not here to tell on you or whatever it is. It's just, don't miss out on opportunities that are available and try to trade the same asset, example Bitcoin, over and over again during shitty conditions. If you don't have the experience for it, don't just get stuck in one single market. Let's check some more water company. No, let's check some crypto out. I promised I would check some crypto for some fans. ZRX USD. ZRX USD. Well, target hit on this one. 50%. Most of these, if you guys were curious, I had posted the other day in my Discord for those that are interested. I'm only doing this every like 2 weeks or when the market conditions go good. But I went through and posted a shitload of altcoins with full-blown analysis that I wouldn't have given on there. And which was cool because if I would have just taken my short up here, I would have been good. But I aimed a little bit too high. I should have just shorted up there. Really sad because I would have been so set. But I have not been shorting at all. But most of these altcoins did really good. AGI, ION. I mean, I still think for my predictions that I gave, I still think those predictions are strong and they're going to pay out. You guys got some more tickers for me for altcoins? Oh, look. I can see chat from Twitter. Yo. Adam, they're asking for. They're asking for XTZ. Is options how you keep trading exciting after developing a winning strategy? That's a good question. Is options how you keep trading exciting after developing a winning strat? So with options, it's not really I mean, there is a strategy of things, which I'm still trying to kind of get down there. It's options trading comes down to risk and position management more than anything, and really being patient on what you're trading. I don't like trading options in channels just because it's harder. I'd rather play option trades in falling or rising wedges, or at least breakouts. I'm a breakout trader when it comes to options, so I don't really like doing the range ones or something crazy. XTZ, how far down? My mans, say no more. This one I'm looking to get an entry on. We are looking at two things over here. This is the weekly structure over here, so you have this weekly weekly reaction zone that I'm looking at. So 275 if I can get in, But as of right now, this looks like a top extended on the B bands. I'm looking for a pattern to form before I can go in or enter. I'm just drawing random lines at this point. But yeah, I am looking for something around $2.50 to go in. If I can get lucky, I would love to get a $2 entry. And if God blesses me, I would love to get like $1.60, $1.50, even $1.75, anywhere between there. I don't think we'll get that. XTZ has been doing. Hold on, I see something now. Hold on. Hold on. Is Beastie responding back to me? No, he's not on. Just seeing if I see anything that meets my bias. Yeah, I guess I don't really see a channel, but yeah, I mean, just a little bit lower. I mean, definitely don't think it's time to enter just yet, just because right now Bitcoin's getting a little sketchy too. So try to see if you can get underneath $2. That would be the most ideal thing for Tezos, would be underneath $2. But yeah, I mean, that other thing you can do is also, like, if you do draw these reactionary zones compared to what I just told you onto there, and you do kind of sort of get the concept of Ichi, the way you would play on reactionary zones is you keep your stop tight. If you get stopped down on a small one, you're okay. If it works out, then that's fine. You don't necessarily always have to put the stop in if you're actually physically sitting at the desk and you're okay with just a slight risk of having your wicks open on there. You're okay with getting wicks hit, then don't keep your stop open. But if you're trying to do like a tight play like this, probably like this. Yeah, 3% stop, a little bit of a long up here. That's how I would probably do that one.